Okay, this isn't going to be a gaming video, but rather a just a video in general. You'll see a flash of Markiplier, but this isn't what that's about. So there's a comment war happening in my own comment here. Like, this is my comment here. So this was my prediction before the stream even started, because it was like 5 hours ago when this thing was released. I said I would say Maria wins if Melania didn't have health drain, but if Maria's phase shifts can deal enough damage to force Melania into second phase, then Maria uses her third phase shift. That's the only way I see Maria winning without HP boss. I really want Maria to win because I think her design is cooler, but I know Melania to be a menace in her own game as well. 99% chance Melania sweeps, but there will always be that perfect setup that Maria can use if she can tank the phase 2 long enough to one-shot her. Melania doesn't have too much health. She's got about 50 to 60k for both phases combined, more of it's in her first phase. This was before the stream. And this is me post-stream, and this is before comments started pouring in. I said post-stream, Maria wins when their stats are even, but we saw the gap between the respective normal game stats. That was not even at all. All things considered, that was still a really close fight outside of the free round for Melania. I'm really glad they used the peak stats instead of their normal game stats. It goes to show how much stronger Bloodborne's New Game Plus hits than Elden Ring's. I don't know I meant to say I don't know why they nerfed Maria's phase attacks, but I'm willing to let it slide, seeing as how they turned out, or how even they turned out to be. And then, okay, so let me mute the video real quick. But like, hang on. So they have little snippets of text explaining. I probably passed it. Hang on. Okay, so both at peak power. This means they're both at the highest New Game Plus value that they can go. Being peak power. It's in the text. And then we have round 2, which is in, like, Maria takes this round surprisingly close. Not another one. I'm not sponsored by any of these, nor am I getting ad revenue for this. This is just an inconvenience for me because I don't use ad blockers because I like to support the people I watch through ad revenue because I can't donate to them. But this got really close. Like, she just finished her and Maria got 2 stabs in. There's a guy in my comment section, like my comment section of the comments. So ridiculous. But there's a guy saying, oh, she's resistant to Ra, and she's got infinite poise. First off, Bloodborne doesn't even have poise, so I don't want to hear Maria has infinite of something that doesn't exist in her game. And secondly, Rot doesn't exist, and not only that, but most Bloodborne bosses, not all of them, but most Bloodborne bosses have high poison resistance, or just straight up rapid poison resistance, which I don't think Maria has either, but Rot doesn't exist in Bloodborne either, so she wouldn't really have a resistance to something that doesn't exist. It's like having a resistance to oxygen, for fuck's sake. But regardless, I mean, she's a fucking walking corpse, for crying out loud, people. If she were in her prime, she'd perform far better, but, like, this dude made sure the fights were even, which is why I'm even saying the fights were even. Like, she takes round 1, which lasted for 4 minutes, and then here we have Maria's original Bloodborne stats and no heal Melania. Okay, so it doesn't say that Melania goes down to original, it just says that Maria's original Bloodborne stats. So she already eats 1,000 damage off the bat, which I know this looks like base game Maria because I fought her so many times. Like, this literally looks like base form Maria. And it says original Bloodborne stats. Now, that could be original New Game Plus 7, but honestly don't think so. Because 1,000 damage should not do that much to Maria. But regardless, she loses this one, regardless of how much health she has, because Malenia doesn't even make it into phase 2 before she just absolutely dominates. Like, these people are saying Malenia is not even boosted. Like, this is still prime Malenia. And yes, there's a health drain effect look, but there's no HP actually being recovered. And as you can see, Maria's only doing 500 damage, which is really low even for Bloodborne standards. And our phase transition did 700, which is higher than base. But, like, this is base game Maria versus, I'm hoping, base game Malenia, because if this is New Game Plus 7 Malenia, then it's pretty embarrassing. But I don't think so. 800 damage, pretty like that in New Game Plus 7, one shots a player, like, no question. But Malenia doesn't even make it to half her health on first form, first phase. Yeah, she got hit by that 1,000 damage, which that was phase 3 transition. And as you can see, Malenia gets staggered quite a bit because, much like Soul of Cinder from Dark Souls 3, she doesn't have a whole lot of poise because she's a more agile boss. And then this is just a rematch of phase 1 or round 1. And I'm just going to show how it ends. I'm sure you guys have seen the video. This is just about that. And this got really close. Like, I thought Maria was going to lose this one, and then, bam, she won with a delayed kill of all things. Like, she's doing 1,000 damage hit, which seems normal for Bloodborne, because you can pretty much just do that in Bloodborne. And oh boy, here we go. This guy's fine. Agreed, I watched again, and I wasn't sure if they nerfed the phase attacks or if Malenia just got out of range. That being said, it felt like the second fight was for sure nerfed. Yes, Maria. Sorry, there's too many M's in these games. Only major nerf I could tell from Malenia's side was the fact that Maria never got rotted even after 2 flowers, and the minor setback of no grabs. Well, grabs don't function on other bosses, and rot probably doesn't even proc on other bosses anyway. Seeing as how Maria's from Bloodborne anyway, but I've got no problem with this, guys. LOL, Maria literally got 3 times or 4 times HP buff, and you say it's equal scaling? As if Maria had 3 to 4 times Malenia's health in this match here. 2,000 damage. Let's do a frame backwards. 1, 2. This is first phase only. Maria's already here. Let's just watch this. She's getting all her health back, as she would normally. Does 5,000 damage on a waterfowl. Okay? Malenia is not nerfed here. This guy thinks he's funny. And even complain about Maria being nerfed. Yeah, her phase transitions are nerfed. That doesn't change the outcome of the fight, it just makes it closer. Malenia has to do 10 attacks to do as much damage as 1 attack from Maria. Yeah, because Maria hits like a fucking truck. Have you ever played Bloodborne? And she's still got Maria to 1 HP. She's way superior to Maria. She needed health drain to even get that close. She needed health drain to even get that close in the first place. Look at that. Health drain. That's like 500 health a hit, bro. 500 health a hit. Like, seriously. She needs the health drain to win this. I said, dude, chill, it's New Game Plus scaled, and even if it's not, they still have the same HP and damage scaling. Maria got more hits in, keeping her health higher than Malenia's, which is a strategy most bosses use. And then I responded to this guy saying, Maria landed phase 3 and it barely did anything, versus her Orphan of Chaos, which pretty much did 75% of his health, killing him instantly. And I could probably reference that, but my PC doesn't want to really load videos right now. And then I said to Ninja Warrior, you're just salty. Both even rounds went to Maria. I was surprised to see Maria win it all until I remembered Malenia's smaller health pool. Smaller health pool! I say smaller because I fought them both at New Game Plus 7 in their respective games. I'm being fair here. I'm not saying, oh, Maria won! Ooh, ooh, Maria won! Like, no. Melania won one fucking match where Maria was heavy nerfed and fucking dominated. Am I mad about that? No. The fucker said it was heavy nerfed. Like, you people don't fucking read. She needs HP drain to keep up. If you respect Melania at all, you would accept her loss like I did, because I'm rooting for both of them. I'm not gloating over her one unbalanced win. She went down like a champ. I was surprised to see Maria stagger Melania so many times, but I guess Melania mirrors Soul of Cinder, I forgot to put an S there, in the lower than average boss poise. Because bosses in Elden Ring have more poise than Melania, just like Soul of Cinder has less poise than most of the bosses in Dark Souls 3. I say most because there are still some with less. No, they do not have the same HP pool. I didn't say they had the same HP pool. I said they had even stats. That means they're both at New Game Plus 7 scaling. I didn't say their HP was exactly the same. You don't read. I'm just, my adrenaline is too high right now. So look at this dude liking his own fucking comments, bro. Like these ones are from other, like that one's from other. This is all him. Okay, I don't know who likes my comment, but this is all him right here. This is all him liking his own fucking comment. Like I didn't point that out to him because, dude, all you're doing is ego boosting yourself. Salty because Maria was way too buffed. It was a miracle Melania got that far both times. It was not a miracle because of the health drain. Okay, if she didn't have health drain, like Maria was way too buffed. Did you see how close this shit got? Like both rounds Maria won was her at fucking this little amount of HP left. And she doesn't have a phase 2 transition. You cannot tell me that this isn't an even fight. Like, Garden of Ice clearly either, like, I'm either correct and they're both at New Game Plus 7, because it doesn't state that they're both at New Game Plus 7. I can just tell that they're at their New Game Plus 7 stats because I fought them at those levels. And Melania has less health than Maria. It takes 3 Moonlight Swords to even deal the same damage to Maria than to fucking Melania. Because Maria's slower, but she does more damage and takes more damage. But she can be parried to death, which is something Melania doesn't have in her arsenal. But she has the health drain to compensate. Melania shreds all of the bosses in her own game. Okay? Like, with that context in my head, I was like, okay, yeah, there's no way Maria wins this, because Melania just fucking shreds her own final boss, for fuck's sake. I mean, Maria does too. I mean, to be fair, Maria more than shreds her fucking final boss. She one-shot his ass once he got to like 60% health. She was like, alright, I'm ending this. Dead. If that phase 3 transition had the same power that it did in the Orphan of Kos, then that would have just ended the fight right there. But Garden of Ice wanted to make it more fair, I guess, so he lowered the damage on that, making it even again. How the hell does she need HP drown? The round where both are the original stats. It didn't say both were the original stats, by the way. It just said Maria was, and Melania didn't have health drain. But, I mean, even if it was both original stats, Melania has higher stats, probably because Elden Ring's bigger. But she just has higher stats in general. but the video didn't state that both were original. It just said Maria was original. Like, I can literally show that to you again. Maria's original Bloodborne stats, plus no heal Malenia. Nowhere does it say Malenia original Elden Ring stats or anything like that. It just says no heal Malenia. 260. She's doing jack shit damage. 770. Okay, let's see. 770. 500. Yeah, okay, yeah. So Malenia is not nerfed in that second fight. Malenia is not nerfed in that second fight. Maria just has her Bloodborne stats. You people don't fucking read. You people don't fucking read, bro. I'm talking about the even fights. In the first place, where her second phase is heavily nerfed, where her rot cannot proc. Her rot cannot proc because Malenia can't even get it to build up on Maria because Maria doesn't deal with rot in her game. Therefore, it cannot proc because it doesn't exist. You don't get that, you brick wall. While Maria deals a third of her HP in 2 hits. LOL. It's not a third of her HP in 2 hits. Otherwise, it'd be over in fucking... Excuse me. It would be over before Maria even hit half health. Well, Malenia has to do a whole waterfowl to do as much damage in a single blow for Maria. Does that seem fair to you? This man is clearly salty that Malenia lost this fight. Like, the only reason I'm not salty is because I love both of them, okay? They're both amazing, strong, feminine bosses that kick your ass really fucking good. I'm not sitting here bitching that Malenia lost or Maria only won because she was at that tiniest little bit of health and one more hit would have done her in. I'm not making those calls. I know. I fucking saw, and I make my very first comment based on that. And I said, I'm done talking to a brick wall. No, you just can't find a good way to ignore this argument, because there's no way you can find a... there's no way... Because there's no way you can find a way in which Maria's not absolutely buffed through the roof in this fight. If she were buffed through the roof in this fight, she would actually be doing a third of her health per fucking hit. 3-shotting her main form, and then 2-shotting her second form. She is not buffed through the fucking roof, okay? Maria wins her stats are even no shot. Their stats aren't even in this video. Malenia has... I like how he fucking debunks his own fucking part of his comment by then making up his own stats for them. But regardless, Malenia has 33,000 health. Maria was given 5 times easily. She has 14k at base. Here I count on 70 plus k, meaning 5 times at minimum. And don't forget the times 5 damage multiplier. Compare the damage of her big attacks in the first fight to the second fight. The charging sweep deals around 700 damage in the second fight, where she has normal attacks in the first fight. In the first fight, that same attack at one point deals 4,000 damage, meaning literally 5 times damage. No, because that same attack one-shots the player in Bloodborne, and makes sure that it one-shots the player, no matter their resistance or health. That same attack one-shots the fucking player in Bloodborne. Dealing 4,000 damage isn't outside of the fucking question. So Maria was given 5 times health and damage, and infinite poise and immunity to rot, and still barely won. Maria with triple to double Malenia stats wins with 1% health remaining. Maria with equal stats would lose before Malenia reaches second phase. Did you even read what the video had it in the top left? Did you even read? Peak stats means new game plus 7. Original Bloodborne stats is either base game or OG Bloodborne stats. Which honestly doesn't make any sense to me, because why would they have peak Malenia fighting base Bloodborne Maria? Okay, yeah, no. So I'm thinking maybe the second fight was... Like, I don't feel like the second fight was accurate to Bloodborne stats. Because I've had her one-shot me so many fucking times. There's no way she does that little damage. Normally. I said they're both new game plus 7 to this guy. And then to the Ninja Warrior, I said, no, it's called I'm talking to a brick wall. They're at new game plus 7 stats. End of discussion. Round 2 was to show what happens at base stats minus HP drain for Malenia because she dominates anyway. You people act like I'm upset that Malenia won one match when I clearly stated that I wasn't expecting Maria to win in the first place. There, you happy now, brick wall? Did I make it clear to you yet? Or do I have to spell it out for you? Also, Maria, or this is to the straight white male, 252, very creative name, by the way. So you're implying that Malenia didn't get buffed at all? Maria would have shredded base Malenia. Do you even read the text at the top of the screen? No, oh, except it's not New Game Plus 7 stats. In New Game Plus 7, she still only has 27,000 HP. Bud, lol. Here she has well over 50k HP. You can keep calling us brick walls all you want. You're just not right here. Yeah. This is why I muted his ass. So I don't get notifications for this guy. I can't block him, unfortunately, but... whatever. Man, they only have 3 likes on that? Shit. But, like, this motherfucker's liking his own comments. Probably accidentally likes mine. I don't fucking care. This guy liked his own fucking comment. These guys are children. Probably, well, this guy is definitely in his 30s or 40s. I looked at his profile pic, he's got a whole ass fucking beard, bro. This guy is probably 30 or 40. I'm 20 years old and I know more than you guys about this shit. Well, let's see you fight these fucking bosses, then compare stats. Cause you know that 9-year-old that's I forget if it was the 9-year-old, if it was somebody else, but it was during one of my Elden Ring Malenia streams, and that motherfucker shredded Malenia with the fire AoE attack. I forget what it's, Pillars of Flame or something like that. And he killed her on a higher New Game Plus level than I could kill mine, dealing 10,000 damage a combo on Malenia. And 10,000 damage does more... Well, this is a second fight. So... like, this is a badass fight. Like, this is fucking amazing. And you get these assholes ruining it. So that's about 1,000 health. 3,000 health. With some health drain, draining it back. 1,000, bam, right back. That seems normal for Malenia. And plus, this channel has actually balanced the bosses before in even their own games, making Crow of Cainhurst have like double health to face Maria, and Maria still fucking wins. So, like, if it's close, I don't care if they're boosted. Anyway. Like, look at how much health Malenia can drain back. I'd say her only downside is the fact that she has poise, and Maria just does so much fucking poise damage. It's insane. But she's done this to fucking Dark Souls bosses. She's done this to even Bloodborne bosses. So why are we even bitching that Malenia is getting fucking staggered? Like, look at that health. Malenia should be well into her last 25% for her fucking first phase. And she's not because of the health drain. She's keeping up because of the health drain. Like I said, second phase transition connects, dealing 1700 damage. That's fucking normal. You cannot tell me she's fucking boosted 5 times past her normal stats. Maybe 2 times, but not 5 times. Maybe 5 times health to keep up with Malenia's fucking damage and health drain. I swear to you, if they gave Lady Maria health drain the same quantity that Malenia is getting, she would win regardless without the fucking health boost. Because she's got double her fucking defense. I don't see any increased damage here. Where's the 4,000 damage in one hit? That was 4 fucking hits doing 4,000 damage. 4 hits, not 1. That was 1 combo, if anything. I mean, look at this fight. It's fucking insane. They got Malenia's cutscene playing in Godfrey's fucking arena, bro. Bam! Phase 3 transition. Or no, it's her aerial attack. 900 damage from 2 hits. Now she's phase 3 transitioning away from Malenia. Misses. 3,000, 4,000. Did you know that Malenia is weak to fire? The very thing Lady Maria is using. Also, I feel like there is some rot following Malenia there. Maria there. She's just not taking any damage from it. Either that or it's just her step, which looks like Scarlet Rot for some reason. But, again, it's the same thing with, who was it? I think it was Crow of Cainhurst. Crow of Cainhurst could not proc bleed on fucking Eileen, or aka Rapid Poison. She could not proc it on Eileen, because certain bosses have that kind of thing. And that was from the same game. Look at that. She's down to La in her fucking name. Look how even this fucking fights are. And then you have original Bloodborne stats, which I feel is lower than original, unless Malenia just has that much fucking defense and Maria's only doing 100 damage per hit. Plus, they have to make Maria work in Elden Ring, basically match, because the players are scaled higher in Elden Ring too, so they have to compensate for that. Ah, fuck's sake. I'm just keeping the yellow in my sights so I can see when it ends. There's more. But you guys see what I'm saying here? Please give this guy more likes and views. He deserves it. Or they deserve it, I should say. I don't even know who they are. In person, anyway. But, like, they have to compensate. Because if they don't, then it's in Malenia's favor to begin with. Because the players are fucking stronger than in Bloodborne. You know your max health in Bloodborne is without any great runes? 1900. Which is higher than Dark Souls 3, way lower than fucking Elden Ring. I think in Elden Ring you get like 2,000 something without runes. It's ridiculous. And in Bloodborne, your max is like 2,300. Maybe. Probably a little higher than that, because I feel like I'm getting Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. Yeah, Phase 3 transition, 1,200 damage. It's not even close. Is not even close. Maria is just doing her best with the fire damage and gets her ass fucking handed to her. Because Malenia's health drain is fucking carrying her. But in this fight, she had no health drain. Look at that. Half health anyway. She still fucking wiped the floor with her. Now we're back to Elden Ring scaled Maria. They didn't times 5 her fucking stats. They just made it to where she does damage, for fuck's sake. I wouldn't be surprised if they took from Maria's Bloodborne fights and scaled like how much damage she should be doing, and then put that into Elden Ring. Because she's not doing more than 500 damage with her phase 1 attacks. Or she's doing like 600 with her gun. But like, it's pretty much under 1,000, except for combos. This is an even fight, okay? Not my fault Maria hits like a truck in her game. Not my fault that you can't parry Maria as Malenia. That'd be pretty funny. Like, there's so many people saying that, oh, what if Maria just parry spams Malenia? Like, dude, she doesn't do that. She just uses her gun to fire. And if you happen to get parried, she will riposte you. It's to be used against the player who can also parry her. It is not to be used on other bosses. I mean, to be fair, it's not even to be used on any bosses to begin with. Look at that, 2,400 damage. That is not 5,000 damage in one fucking hit. Also, that's one of her supercharged attacks. 1,000 damage per hit with the blood. Once that shit turns, like, damn, 2,400 with 2 hits. Technically, it hits twice with 1 swing. Because she does that kind of shit. If you get hit by the sweet spot, you're gonna take 2,400 damage. That's just what Lady Maria can do. In her game, towards the player. 5,000, but that was a combo. 1,400, 1,600, 2,400, because it was 2 hits in one. She missed that attack. Like, they barely changed anything about Maria. All they did was scale her to Elden Ring stats. So that she could actually fight Malenia. Because round 2 was quite literally a demonstration of Malenia's fucking power. I mean, check this shit out. Look, 10,000 damage. That is insane. And Maria's just gonna burn that back. She's gonna burn that shit right back to where it was. Miss. Miss. Hit. Hit. She's draining health back, too. Still loses with the health drain. And 10,000 fucking damage. I don't want to hear, oh, she wasn't her original Bloodborne stats. Therefore, she can't, like, dude, this is an even stat fight. Basically, their stats are scaled to where the fight is even. Because round 2 is the perfect example of what it looks like normally. Like, this was my guess without even knowing the fight. Oh, whoops. Don't want to drag my picture. Like, this was my guess. With, like, I thought Malenia had 50 to 60k for both faces combined. Which is fair in my assessment, because I fought the fucking boss before. In both phases, by the way. I know Maria doesn't have 60k health. Probably. It's been a while since I fought Maria anyway. I know for a fact, though, that I'd run out of blood vials before I can beat her. Meaning she has a lot of fucking health. When I'm at my A game. You know a boss I can't fucking beat, though? Lawrence. You know who beat Lawrence? Maria. And by can't beat him, I mean on like New Game Plus 7, where he literally does so much fire damage, it doesn't even fucking matter. Yeah, please support Garden of Ice, alright? I don't want to hear that I'm being paid for supporting Garden of Ice. It's just Garden of Ice, guys. Like, they do great shit, okay? I'm not even there like, oh my god, Maria fucking what? Like, no, I'm not even hard celebrating this. I'm just like, damn, I didn't expect that to go that way. And now everyone's hating on me because I said, damn, okay. Like, dude. And then everyone's like complaining that Freed isn't part of this fight. I mean, whatever. The Souls community is the Souls community about this. It's gonna be toxic. But oh my god, dude. I'm getting so much hate for just saying I didn't expect it to go that way. I'm just analyzing the fucking fight. I'm doing my best to analyze the fucking fight. And here you guys are breaking my ass down. Dude, I can't with you. The Souls community is too fucking toxic. But does that mean I'm gonna fucking cry over some toxic comments from them? No. I'm just gonna fucking ignore them. Because who cares about their opinion? My voice is cracking like crazy, because I was trying to record some Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which didn't go according to plan, because all it lasted was 10 minutes, because I didn't realize my storage on my PC was full. Because this is my first time using this PC to record with. But seriously though, definitely check Garden of Eyes out on YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon and Discord. I can't support them with money because I don't have an income yet, but when I do, I will definitely support everyone that I like truly love watching their content, because this takes a lot of fucking, all this takes a lot of work. A lot of work. You cannot do this as one person and get all this done. And if it is one person, that's just even more reason for you to support them. But I doubt it's one person, but if it is, that's pretty damn impressive. Like, they've got 3 Patreon supporters, I think. I thought it was the top 3, but whatevs. Like, they had Mirai work on Maria coming to Elden Ring. Like, Melania barely had any, like, she had no changes to her boss at all. Maria was the one being transported into Elden Ring and needed to be updated to the stats of Elden Ring to actually fight Melania. Anyway, these guys are just fucking salty that Maria got some clutch wins. And I like how some of these guys in the stream were like, oh, Maria's got agility. What? Maria's a walking corpse. She's not gonna pull out any fancy dodges or anything like that. She's got she's got the equivalent of Bloodhound Step, and that's it. She's got a walk and a Bloodhound Step. How's that evasive? How's that acrobatic? Like, Melania has way more agility. And there's another fight I want to show you guys, since I can record for, like, hours on end. I just gotta delete the videos after I'm done uploading them. But, Garden of E.S. Maria Vias. This fight. Now, they didn't give this like a 3 round. Yeah, they gave her 2 times health because she's slow as fuck. Yeah, times 2 health. They say so. 28,000 health. Orphan of Kos with 19,000. He's got way more defense, and he's hits fucking harder. So that's why they give her. Plus, she's like a mid-scale DLC boss. They scaled her up to final boss without scaling defense. Now, we can't see numbers here, but we can clearly see Maria out-damaging Kos. Not really, though. Because they're even. They're even in damaging each other. Like, they wouldn't give Maria times 2 health and times 2 damage because it's still Bloodborne. They just give her times 2 health because Orphan's just tanky as fuck and does hella damage. So what better way to even it than to give Maria more fucking health? Like, they do this for bosses. And plus, Malenia's endgame and Maria's mid DLC. So if they actually scaled Maria to mid DLC, Elden Ring DLC that is, which we have yet to see how high that scales. But look at her, she's losing the fight. She's losing with double HP. We can clearly see she's losing with double HP. Because she's getting fucking comboed. Pulls out the phase 2 transition. Bam. Not that much damage. Because it's phase 2 transition. Doesn't do as much as you would think. But her damage has increased via her stats. Ever so slightly. But now she's got better combos and is able to close the gap, or at least keep it from getting bigger. She's getting flung around, which we saw in Malenia's fight, so no, she doesn't have infinite poise. There's just no poise in Bloodborne. You can still get knocked around by attacks, though. Yeah, this fight is pretty damn fucking close, and all Maria needed was a times 2 HP boost. He calls the lightning. She dashes through it, dodges it, misses her attack. Probably because she's attacking the cameraman. Phase 3 transition. Okay, so it's more like 30 or 40% health. Bam! Dead. Now she's got fire. She didn't even get to use that on Orphan to even see how much that did. The fight's over. And she ends the nightmare as well. Now, if we look at a game transition fight... That lady, Fried. So this is Maria going from Bloodborne into... here's my comment on here, which didn't get any replies, by the way. Fried's agility kept her alive long enough for her to defeat Maria. We saw how quickly Fried's first phases fell in the second round. Maria's lack of speed is her downfall. She simply can't swing faster than Fried can dodge. I love Lady Maria's design, but that doesn't make up for the fact she's a literal walking corpse. I think we missed Maria's introduction. No, okay, it just starts with Fried. Okay. So Fried has 4,800, which is pretty much 5,000. She's got about 12 to 14,000 HP total, which is base game. Then they have Lady Maria with 14,000 HP, which is her base game stats. They're both mid DLC bosses, so they didn't have to scale her health at all. And yes, that moment happens later in the fight. Fried just has less health in her first phases, but they have equal health overall. And I'm just gonna let this play itself out. I don't know why this isn't liked, bro. The reason I made a comment like Maria's a literal walking corpse is because she is literally a walking corpse. When you find her, she's dead in her chair. Then she gets up, grabs you by the wrist, and said a corpse should be left well alone. Like, look at this. It's still kind of even on first phase. Now Maria's stepping it up. She's gotten her combo game back slightly. Damn. Damn. Half health. Going into second phase. Or third phase, because they skipped second phase because of the dude intervening. So yeah, technically, Freed does have less health because she's missing an entire phase. But then all they would have to do is scale Maria up to have like 1.5 HP or something like that to compensate. But right now, they're even. Minus the fact that Freed has more movement, but less damage. Because Maria is a fucking freight train of damage. But Freed, look at Freed sliding around the arena. Now, people were complaining in this video about Frostbite not proccing. But did I get any hate because... did I get any hate because I sat there and said that Maria hits like a fucking truck? Here's phase 3. Alright, you know how it did, like, it killed Orphan Akos there? It did 900 damage to Freed. Barely anything. Barely anything. It was nerfed here. And I think she still wins, but I don't remember. She's just a fucking tank, bro. What she lacks in agility, she makes up for in defense and power. That's literally who she is. As, like, there's the moment right there. They both miss, but it's fucking cool as hell. Not to mention, every miss that Maria gets is detrimental to the rest of the fight. Yeah, look how close that got. Look how close that shit got. I'm pretty sure Maria still wins because of her damage. Unless she doesn't. Like, this was what happened in the second even round with Malenia. Is that Maria was lower than Malenia and still pulled the victory. But she doesn't pull the victory here because it's Freed, and Freed is way more athletic. Okay, goes straight in the second round. Nothing changed between their stats. I think I'm just gonna skip to the end here because I don't want to sit there and sit through the entire fight again. Unless this was really short. Okay. We'll skip to here, I think. Oh wait, no, this was only really short because it's going into her phase transition. But look how much health Maria has over Freed right now anyway. She's like almost where she was earlier. She's got just enough of a boost that I think she pulls a win out of here. And Freed only does slightly less damage than Maria. Only slightly less. It's because Maria's moveset is just so slow. She can barely keep up with Freed's evasion. But look at that health lead. When she lands more of her hits, she actually does way more damage. It's not, oh, you gave, hacks. Like, no. Okay? She doesn't get super boosted. This is just who she is as a fucking boss. Now, they didn't recover Maria's health here. And they gave Freed her full third phase health. Not second phase, because second phase is technically not in this. Which I didn't know at the time because, well... I don't remember if Maria wins this. If she does, that just proves my point on what Maria pretty much does, but I don't think she wins this one. Because her health. But then again, she could. You can never tell with Maria, because she's either going to hit every shot or she's going to miss most of them. Yeah, and this is normal game stats, by the way. This isn't even New Game Plus 7. These are normal game stats. And she's sitting for, like... Ah, it was so close. Okay. It was really fucking close. And they put Freed at pretty much half health against a Maria that was 25%. And she still almost pulled a victory. So, this fight with Maria versus Malenia isn't that far off from what would actually happen. Oops, I mean to skip to Malenia losing. But like Melania's weakness to fire and her lower health pool than Maria's just seals the fucking fight for Melania. And she's also less agile than Freed, making this fight a lot easier for for Maria to hit her hits. Not to mention Melania staggers far more often than Freed, because she's got less poise. I mean, we see Maria getting knocked all over the place and shit. It's not like she's got 100 poise and can't be budged at all. Like, she's getting thrown around the fucking arena. I want to hear she's got infinite poise. Clearly, you can't tell the difference between poise and stagger. You're just salty that your waifu, quote-unquote, lost. I'm surprised I even have 15 likes. But, like, seriously, these people are so fucking blinded by hatred that they don't even want to look at the facts staring them in the fucking face. Have you even watched the other two fights, for fuck's sake? Given she lost to Freed, but it was barely a loss. The first time it was barely a loss the last time. And that last time she was literally almost dead already. And she almost pulled a fucking victory. Because with Maria, the more she misses, the less likely she is to win. But the more she hits, the other person's gonna fucking regret challenging her. But because she's so fucking slow, that detriments her entire performance. Because she's a walking corpse. If she were given, like, Freed's movement or Melania's movement, these fights would be no fucking contest. Probably not with Melania or Maria's original stats, but like you saw with Black Flame Freed, if Maria didn't stand there wide open for like 3 fucking seconds, she would have more opportunities to attack and less opportunities to get hit, therefore securing a better victory. But am I salty that she lost to Freed? No, I'm just stating Maria's weaknesses and saying, you know, if she was this way, this would not have happened. But because she's this way, because she's a walking corpse, she lost the fight. She missed too many times. But here, she didn't miss enough for Melania to pull a victory. I don't care that Maria's got ×2 Melania's health and damage, which isn't true. They're doing equal damage to each other. Melania's getting health back, which is pretty much just increasing her maximum health by an infinite amount. By infinite, I mean like potentially infinite, because she can just keep fucking hitting and getting her health back. Maria has no health drain, so she needs the extra health to even keep up with Melania. And you still see how fucking close it gets. Why are people salty about this? I mean, I get it's the Souls community, and they're super fucking gatekeep toxic pieces of shit, but good fucking lord, I didn't know you were a fucking 40-year-old white man living in your own fucking basement, because you're too scared to go out and get groceries because you're afraid you'll get shot up in the fucking supermarket by some fucking shooter, because you're a paranoid, delusional fuck like my father. But anyway, enough hatred towards cis white men already. Hey, listen, I'm allowed to hate the hate, okay? I don't hate anything else. Why do you think I hate Frieza so fucking much? They should have never brought that fucker back. In my opinion, Frieza is evil incarnate. He is not pure in any regard. He is only out for himself. If Kid Buu's evil incarnate, then what the fuck does that make Frieza? I really don't feel like Kid Buu is evil incarnate, but all he knows is destruction. Janemba is another one that's evil incarnate, but he kind of started off as mischief incarnate, but then like he went to Super Janemba and just went on a fucking killing spree. Not to mention, like, he was just toying with the dimensions of heaven and hell. Meanwhile, the dead were returning to the living world, where the living were having their own battle against the dead. It was pretty funny to see Hitler get fucking humbled. But, like, I'm not even sitting here saying, like, oh, Melania's weak as fuck. She got bodied by Maria. Like, no. Melania's a fucking menace, bro. She fucking destroys every boss she's gone up against in her own games. She gets one loss under her belt and everyone loses their shit. I didn't lose my shit when Maria lost to Freed. I just said Maria's a walking corpse. And I didn't get any hate for it. I was rooting for Maria, sure. Because I think she's the cooler boss. Cooler being the key word. Not stronger. Cooler. And yet I get hate for it against Melania. But not against Freed. Which happened 2 years ago. By the way. 2 fucking years ago. 2 years later, the community's all of a sudden filled with gatekeeping toxic pieces of shit. Even more so than that was already there. Good lord. But anyway, I gotta spend the next minute not swearing, so yeah. Just wanted to update you guys that I'm getting hate for having an opinion. I'm just saying that because, like I gotta read my comment again, bro. Like, I can't even, like, is there any point in here where I get offensive or offended? I would say Maria wins if Melania didn't have Health Drain, but Melania's phase shifts can deal enough damage to force Maria's, sorry, I keep saying Melania instead of Maria, because they're both Mus. Maria's phase shifts can deal enough damage to force Melania's second. This was my initial, like, thoughts on the fight before this fight even happened. Like, like 5 hours ago, I made this comment before the stream even started. Made this one after I watched the stream. And then I made this one after these dickheads down here decided to be assholes. And I gotta wait another minute, but 4:20 p.m. I'll end the video. Probably. But again, if Melania didn't have Health Drain Maria wins no Health Drain, because I didn't think that Melania, I didn't think about the fact that the player is stronger in Elden Ring than in Bloodborne. I didn't think about that at all. So I thought they were more even than I originally thought. But the reality was Melania fucking destroys Maria with Maria's original stats. But as you saw with Black Flame Freed, they had the same health, and Maria almost pulled 2 W's out of it. One of which would have been back-to-back. But that didn't happen because Maria's health was too low. But that still counts as Freed winning in my head. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, that didn't count. She was 1 hit from death like this other fucking straight white male 252 did. Still barely won. And he liked his own comment. That's the cringiest part about these guys, is they like their own fucking comment. I wouldn't be surprised if straight white male was an alternate of the other guy. I can't even open it to even look at it. I don't even want to look at him anymore. I'm gonna be honest. Again, you people need to chill down there. I'm not upset that Melania won. I'm surprised Maria won at all. You people didn't even read my comment. You skimmed it. And most of you didn't even read the text on the video itself. At least properly, anyway. Y'all need to stop skimming shit. And read. Unless you read a book without skimming through it. Because you think it's boring. Oh, God. See, here's what I thought. I thought maybe... Because I didn't quite see that the Phase 3 on Freed didn't do any damage. I thought it did the same damage it would do against Orphan, but no. In Bloodborne, that shit hits different. 40% of 18,000 health gone. Yeah, Freed would have been fucking dead. But again, I think Maria won that one anyway, although unless that was the first round. If it was first round, then yeah, Maria would have won that, but again, it's a 50-50 with these fights, because they make sure it's even. That's what you people don't understand. Also, Frostbite doesn't exist in Bloodborne, that's why Maria never got Frostbite in that fight against Freed, because Frostbite doesn't exist. So the fact that these guys are even complaining about Rot is just like, did you even watch the Freed video? No, you didn't. Shut the up. Shut the up. No one cares about how much emotional damage you took from watching Melania fucking die, okay? No one cares. The only one that cares is you. Like, I even said Maria wins when their stats are even, but we saw the gap between the respective normal game stats. That wasn't even at all. It wasn't even at all. It was completely in Melania's favor. All things considered, it was still really close outside of the free round for Melania. LOL, because I'm joking that Melania pretty much got a free round off on Maria because those were Maria's original stats from Bloodborne. Because she wasn't scaled to Elden Ring at all. And if Elden Ring bosses are going to be higher than Melania in the DLC, then it would make sense for Maria to be this close, because she's a mid-DLC boss. And if she scales to a mid-DLC Elden Ring boss, then she should be able to pull a victory over Melania. However, she needed hella help to do so. But they didn't say times 2 health, or times 5 health like these guys are claiming. It's just scaled to Elden Ring. Maybe it's times 2 after the scaling, but it's not times 5 after the scaling, because if that were the case, then Melania wouldn't even be close to winning any of these. Except for the second one, because those were original stats on Maria's side. Now, this could be normal game. I doubt it. But I really feel like this is New Game Plus 7 stats, because there's no way Maria's doing 5,000 damage in 5 hits. There's no way she does that much damage on base game. I mean, maybe, actually. Actually, maybe. I feel like she does 1,000 a hit in Bloodborne. But, like, we saw second round. She just got fucking annihilated. She got fucking melted. And Melania didn't even reach second phase. I mean, look at this. It is not even close. Because this is Lady Maria's Bloodborne stats. Whether it's base game, I don't know. It makes more sense that it's from Bloodborne and not her base game stats, because base game would be unfair to put against New Game Plus 7, which I thought both were in base game, because like they're either both in base game or they're both New Game Plus 7. It honestly doesn't I guess it would change, wouldn't it? Although I did see Melania do 10,000 on a waterfowl, so that's why I think it's New Game Plus 7, because the waterfowl did 10,000 fucking damage. But then again, if that is base game, then good lord. Why are you guys bitching that Maria was even buffed at all? She barely fucking won with the buffs. You guys are just fucking salty down there. But anyway, like, I don't say anything here that even remotely is like, oh my god, Maria won! I said I really want Maria to win because I think her design is cooler, but I know Melania to be a menace in her own game as well. This is what I mean. These people don't read my fucking comments. They just assume I'm rooting for Maria, even though I know Melania is the better fucking, or the stronger fucking boss, and better because she's not a fucking corpse. She's still living, given she's got Scarlet Rot within her, but better to have a heartbeat than no heartbeat. Maria wins when their stats are even, but we saw the gap between their respective normal game stats, and it wasn't even at all. All things considered, it was still pretty close outside of the free round from Melania. I'm really glad they used peak stats instead of their normal game stats. It does show how much stronger Bloodborne's New Game Plus hits than Elden Ring's. I don't know if it is actually New Game Plus 7. I'm just guessing based off of the numbers I'm seeing on screen. And I know it's not base game numbers because it would be way lower for Melania. And if that's not the case, then if this were on New Game Plus 7, this wouldn't even be close. Maria would lose every fight. If this were New Game Plus 7, Maria would lose every fight with the Elden Ring scaling. Like, dude. But then again, I do feel like Bloodborne's New Game Plus does hit harder than Elden Ring's, because I can fly through Elden Ring's way easier than Bloodborne's. And I'm talking about the DLC on Bloodborne versus like the Haligtree on Elden Ring, respectively, of course, because that's where the bosses are fucking located. Haligtree is really fucking hard, but I don't think it's as hard as, say, Bloodborne's DLC. There are fewer enemies in Bloodborne's DLC, which does make it easier, but the patience within the they're just so fucking annoying, dude. I've died so many times to those guys because they do so much damage with really fast attacks. And shit, I can't even make it past the living failures on my own. But now that I know you can parry them, then I probably can. But there's fucking... It's a gang fight, for fuck's sake. It's not even a duo fight, it's a gang fight. It's like a 5 or 6 v1, dude. How am I supposed to win? How am I supposed to find an opening on guys that have ranged and melee attacks? Both. Instead of just one being range, or like 2 being ranged and 4 being melee, or 2 being melee and 4 being ranged. I mean, to be fair, it feels like 4 are ranged and 2 are melee. But they just switch to melee whenever they feel like it, and there are none that are actually open. Which makes it a hard boss, because they can just... Oh, I'm melee now. Dead. Because in Bloodborne, you get one shot way easier than in Elden Ring. But again, that's another thing I didn't think of when making the pre-stream comment, was I didn't think that Bloodborne's character is just straight up weaker than Elden Ring's, because I keep forgetting that Elden Ring is actually generous to the player for once in the From Software history, besides probably Sekiro. I'm gonna make that joke until I play the game. But I just... Do any of you see a problem with my initial comment? Ending at post-stream, of course, because mid-comment war is just me commenting to people that are being dicks, which is just 2 people so far, which have put a lot of fucking replies in my chat. Like... I'm not angry at either one for losing or winning. I think the fight's fucking awesome, and I'm surprised that Maria won so many times. Like, I was post stream, I was making observations that Maria wins when their stats are even, but when their respective normal game stats were in play, we clearly saw the gap. You guys didn't read that part, you just fucking bombed it straight to the reply button and just like, that shit. Like, seriously. Calm down. We don't need that shit here. I don't need that shit here. You probably do, because you want an ego boost over a 20-year-old kid. I swear, dude. Like, you guys are just childish. And I'm younger than you, probably. Most likely, I'm younger than you. Maria wins their stats even. No shot. Talking like he's from... I don't know. He's talking gangster speak. In quotes, I say, because I don't even know the right terminology to even... Like, I don't even speak that way, nor do I even know what to call that way of speaking without sounding offensive. Man is a white man talking like this. A fucking white guy saying no shot. I'm sorry, but that's cringe. Their stats aren't even in this video. Yeah, no shit, I'm guessing. Like, do you think I know what the stats are? Do you think I know what the stats are when I'm just making a guessing comment? I need to say an extra. It's two S's, isn't it? Do I want to say power or combat? I'll say power. I want to be as polite as possible because I am heated at them, but I'm not angry with them. I'm like, why the fuck right now? I'm not like, what the fuck? Of course, I have no actual idea if they are New Game Plus 7 or not. Do you honestly think I'm 100% sure about their stats? I see peak stats and assume New Game Plus 7. I was guessing with these comments by simply observing how it was playing out. Even stats means that we're optimized to be an equal fight. That's what this channel does. They make the fight as even as possible and watches how it plays out. There is zero reason to get salty over a fictional fight between two titans of power. Get a life, you 30 to 40-year-old men that have nothing better to do than get an ego boost off the first comment you see that has an opinion you don't agree with. Also, I find it hilarious that you guys like your own comments and even one of mine. Pick up a book and try not to skim through it. And pick up a hobby that isn't ego boosting. You lifeless brick walls. Have a nice rest of your day. And I will respond to no more toxic, salty comments. Thank you. So yeah, that was my day today. Reacting to some badass shit, telling those guys off, and like before reacting to the badass shit, I was trying to record Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 when I realized my PC storage was full, so I had to delete my Team Fortress 2 and my other video, the Lies of P video, which are already posted on YouTube. If you want to go check those out, check them out. I will probably be posting Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I did beat the Freeze the Cooler mission in 3 tries. The funny thing is, the 3rd try I didn't even use Super Saiyan. And it was while I was, like, not point boosted. Basically, I was only level boosted with Super Saiyan and Android 18's Super Soul of I'll use all my power to defeat you or something like that. Or, you know, max ki boosts your damage medium. Oh man, this air is dry. Let me drink some water. Excuse me, by the way. I'm not even gonna tell them I'm 20 years old, but I can already tell they're like 30s to 50s, like, or 40s to 50s. I honestly don't give a which. I just, it's so disappointing to watch people do this to people. And when they do it to me, I fight back. Oh, wait, I'm not done yet. I've still got one more to show you guys. Now, I'm done responding to the people on this one, because they haven't responded. Yeah, I liked this guy's comment, because they made a valid thing. Also, you know, I was getting likes far before anyone was replying. Oh yeah, I also, there was a poll that said, or not a poll, yeah, there was a poll that said, do you think Goku was right putting in Gohan instead? And I said, of course, on the poll. And then I said, Goku knew Gohan was stronger than him. If Goku fought Cell for longer, he wouldn't have won. And he probably would have ended up making Cell even stronger thanks to Cell's regeneration. And of course, Saiyan Cells giving him tiny Zenkais. Which are just single Zenkais. Let's see. Where are... And of course you guys can see all my people, the people I'm subscribed to. And some recommended. Also, you should totally check out Rusty here. He did so much work on this. Like, you should totally support him too. And of course, support like Darrow, Markiplier, etc. Maximilian. I honestly just watch Burkle because he just... He literally lures in toxic people, invites them to a game of, or, you know, they're like, you know, antagonizing him, and, I'll beat you, you're not that good, and then he just gives it to him. He's really satisfying to watch, just take down trash talkers. But where's that comment? Come on. Oh, yeah, I also made a funny comment. Goku's scared of broccoli because of Broly. It's so funny. Also, Dododoya, Siriax, and Rhymestyle. Rhymestyle's a little bit of a bully, but honestly, he's not that bad compared to... I wonder if I just pass it up. Bloodborne Poison Spots. They're honestly not as bad as Dark Souls 3's, whatchamacallit. Dude, am I gonna have to... Okay, here we go. Or no, that wasn't it. That was something different. Something I actually fucked up on. A different video. I passed it, didn't I? Okay, here we go. Okay, I gotta click on that one. Pause that immediately. Also, I thought this guy was doing proper scaling until this video came out. I don't agree with it, but I made a comment saying why I did my own power scale on Goku, for fuck's sake. And, like, 10 trillion to destroy a fucking universe. This is Ultra Instinct. I mean, unofficial. This is lowballing Ultra Instinct. And Goku, actually, because all I did was do single Zenkais. I didn't even do, like, multiple Zenkais. But, I'm sure you don't care, but this comment is for people who care. I did power scale based off of Goku's Zenkai boosts alone with the anime Super Saiyan God Absorption in his base form, not counting training. I started the power scale off of Goku's base. A quick note, Zenkai boosts give a 33% boost to your base power if you're full-blooded Saiyan. I say full-blooded Saiyan because hybrid Saiyans seem to work differently, but I don't need to get into that, seeing as how we were just talking about Goku. So here are the results of my DBS power scale. DBS power scale being key word there. DBS specifically. Starting off with Boost Saga Goku's base power level of 60 million. Pretty impressive. For Boost Saga, anyway. Beerus destroying him brings his base up to 79 million. After eating a senzu. His base. His Super Saiyan 3 is what I pretty much did the math off of to get that base in the first place. Which I mean, it's 400 times, so that's what I did. So Goku, after absorbing the Super Saiyan God powers, given that the Super Saiyan God multiplier was 24 million or billion times base, which is insane, it's 6,384,000, or not 6 million, sorry. But you guys can read the number, right? I've already, I think it's, yeah, it's 6 trillion, I think. Yeah, it's ridiculously high. Goku's based after Beerus leaves, basically another Zenkai. 8 trillion. Goku having been clipped by Sorbet, over 129 trillion. Like, I'm not even gonna try and sit there and look up every little thing. I basically just list off every Zenkai that he gets. I don't count them double, triple, or quadruple, because that's not what I was doing here, but somebody pointed out that in the Frieza Saga, Goku got way higher than 33%, and I told him that's because it was a quadruple Zenkai, because he got his rocked. It takes a power level of 10,000 to blow up a Jupiter-sized planet, based off of literally everyone else on the internet saying it's 10,000. I thought it was 3,000 originally, but clearly that is not true. Apparently. I thought it was 3,000 because, I don't know. But I took some more sources and it's 10,000, so there we go. And of course, I did my own math and got 10 trillion to destroy a universe in Dragon Ball because Goku couldn't destroy the universe on his own as Super Saiyan gods, but Beerus was there to add power to the clash, making it a low universal feat, aka going to destroy the universe at any second. But this was just them clashing fists, and Beerus not going all out, so... For Goku, it was a high ball, not a high ball, but it was pretty high feat for Goku, pretty low feat for Beerus. I'm not even going to try and scale Beerus. Man's power keeps changing with each arc. If you want post-Broly movie transformation numbers, here you go. These are just insane. I mean, these speak for themselves. Remember, 10 trillion is enough to destroy a universe. Call it BS if you want, but these are the facts as I see them. My formula is to take the OG number into a calculator, multiply it by 0.33, then add that result onto the original number. These are just Zenkai boosts according to Super Saiyan gods and base, thanks to the anime. It's no wonder people believe misinformation, because not many people know how to properly research it, or how to properly do research, if any at all. Because there's not a whole lot of people that actually do the research, and the ones that do look up like 1 or 2 sources, and that's it. Please listen to more than just a handful of sources, otherwise you will believe this scaling of Goku is true. Even Death Battle only used the power level from the Battle of Gods feat, and stacked transformation multiplier to it, and called it a day. Honestly, I thought that Toaster XD was a valid source of info, because the videos like why Goku versus the Big Three isn't close, because that was fucking accurate. But as we can see with this video, sorry I lost my place, thanks to ADHD, all he did was what Death Battle does, where he takes feats, stacks them against each other, and like a toddler, smashing 2 action figures together. Oh, and stacks them against each other, like a toddler, smashing 2 action figures together. So that was like kind of a run-on sentence there. I should probably add a comma there somewhere, but whatever. I'm a die-hard God of War fan and a die-hard Dragon Ball fan. But if Kratos... Sorry, I need to slow down. I'm too hyped because I'm petting a kitten right now. He's so fucking cute. But Kratos isn't winning this one. Even the YouTube poll this guy put up agrees, or says Goku would win by 70%. Just want to say that Goku had a Zenkai after Captain Ginyu fight over 100 times, so it's not 33%. You can just say it's a low ball. I mean, it is anyway, because I only counted Zenkai boosts, which I didn't know about double, triple, quadruple until after this guy made his point. And then you got Captain Cringe here. All those multipliers impressive, if you want to say it means Goku is like sextillions of times Universal Plus. The problem is, if you even if you want to scale Goku to multiversal, because of that, Goku, no matter how big a multiplier you give him, would still be a finite amount of strength into 4D. Whatever the fuck 4D means. While Kratos, by scaling to the Yggdrasil, is already infinite in 5D. Bro. put these fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional theories away, bro. This isn't math class where we're explaining what 2D people would see to a third dimensional being, or what third dimensional being would two dimensionals see a part of. Like, no. Okay, this isn't fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional math equations here. This is power scaling, bud. I said bud because the other guy said bud. Kratos without even being 5D, which is already beyond an infinite amount above 4D, whatever the fuck that means, has a multiplier infinitely greater than everything you just said, and he is infinitely high into 5D, while Goku is once again finite 4D. So what makes Kratos 5D? And what makes Goku 4D? Whatever the fuck that means. In Dragon Ball, Universal Plus means dimensional as well, because I think he's talking about actual dimensions here, not whatever the fuck this dimensional means. Not to mention, beings like Buhan and Janemba have control over the many dimensions in Dragon Ball. Goku has far surpassed them once he absorbed Super Saiyan God power. Also, that number with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken is 736 Novemdecillion. No, I'm not making that up. The number, I mean. Like, it's literally Novemdecillion. Like, what? Plus, this is technically a lowball scaling, seeing as how I only scaled using single Zenkais, because this is when I discovered that. If I were to include double, triple, and quadruple Zenkais based on how severe his injuries were, then that number would be way higher. An example of a quadruple Zenkai was his fight with Ginyu, Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta, when recovering with the Bactapod. That's how he got his power from just above Ginyu to 20 times short of Frieza's final form power. Not full power final form Frieza. Yes, lame as long as fuck. I mean, this power scale that I did is only Dragon Ball Super anime content. I didn't include the manga events or Super Dragon Ball heroes. Kratos may be a god-slaying legend, but Goku schools Dogi Dogi few who wouldn't bat an eye at any of the gods in Kratos' world. And then this guy said, damn, that's impressive. But yeah, just more examples of cis white men saying shit out of their mouths, not even reading my comment because they don't feel like it. And then just getting absolutely fucking shit on by their own fucking comment. And this guy didn't even respond to any of my comments. He just accepted it and was like, okay, whatever. Probably, I don't know. At least he is not like the other two. He's just like, oh, ha, 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 this is funny as fuck. Listen to this kid. Yeah, I'm sure it's funny. When, jeez. This is also ridiculous. Omni-Man versus Metro Man. I don't want to watch it, but, like, dear lord. Yeah, I also don't really care about True Ultra Instinct or Black Frieza. But Vegito v Frieza, Vegito's beating Frieza's ass. I don't give a flying fuck what universe it is. Vegito's winning against Frieza. The only reason Frieza's even close to Saiyans in power right now is because Resurrection F. If you were to say Frieza got stronger from the Frieza saga back in Namek, from getting his shit rocked by Goku and then recovering, I mean, he doesn't have Zenkai, so he's not going to get a Zenkai. But his power wasn't even enough to overpower Super Saiyan Trunks. After that training session of getting his shit rocked by Goku. Which is technically training in the Dragon Ball way of things. You get your shit rocked, you recover from it, you get stronger. Doesn't matter who you are. Saiyans just get more out of it. So yeah, you mean to tell me that Frieza, back then, oh, he's missing parts of his body, he doesn't count. Bruh. So, how strong was King Cold then? Was he weaker than Frieza's final form? Probably. But did Trunks give him a chance to transform? No. He ended that shit right then and there. Just like with Frieza, he showed off a bit and then ended him. But yeah, I mean, if you're saying that Frieza races get that kind of power from training, then why didn't Frieza get that kind of power from getting his shit rocked on Namek? which doesn't take 4 out of the 6 months of training some random soldier to get to your power level. So, yeah. 2 months of training gets him to god powers without needing any god ki of his own. Versus Namek Saga, where he gets his shit rocked and barely gets any power out of it. So yeah, that's a bunch of shit. And like Golden Frieza, like the power difference on Golden Frieza than Final Form Frieza is ridiculous, because all of Frieza's previous transformations were 2 times. Like another transformation on top of that would just be 2 times more than what he had before. And let's say that Soldier was stronger than Frieza. It's still 6 months of training, which for Dragon Ball isn't much. It took Goku and Gohan a year to even get to Cell's level. And Cell had Saiyan, Namekian, and Frieza cells in him. So why didn't Cell surpass Super Saiyan 2 Gohan when he came back? With Saiyan Zenkais and supposedly Frieza race boosted cells as well. And by supposedly Frieza race boosted, I mean like, you know, supposedly those cells got stronger as well. How was he not able to overpower Kid Gohan? Yes, Gohan took a major blast to the shoulder because he was protecting Vegeta from dying, but then he just finally let go at the end and pushed through Cell's attack right as Vegeta lands the final distracting blow, which Cell and Gohan were pretty much almost even at that point, after Cell was getting his shit rocked. Cell wasn't like, okay, yep, this blast is going to destroy the Earth and possibly the entire universe, and then just absolutely just right over Gohan. Like, that didn't happen, so clearly no insane growth feats coming from the Frieza cells in him. That didn't happen. Yeah, I'm salty about Resurrection F and them bringing back Frieza. And then in the manga, he gets a new form, which I want to call Onyx Frieza, based on their own way of naming Frieza's forms now. You got Gold, so why not Onyx? Why does it have to be Black Frieza? You already have Goku Black. Are you just running out of creative names? Like, you're already using, like, colors and shit in the Red Ribbon Army, which was already the Red Ribbon Army's thing. So why does Frieza and Zamasu have to take that from Red Ribbon Army? Because you can't think of another fucking word other than black? And black stands for evil, so I'm gonna use that. Like, dude, seriously? Golden Metal Cooler. I mean, that's cool. I mean, it does sound better, I'm gonna be honest. Onyx Metal Cooler kind of sounds cooler than Black Metal Cooler. Give that man a black paint shot. Black Metal Cooler. There you go. Like, that is not a transformation name. That is a color name. Okay? A transformation name has to be something grand. Like Super Saiyan. Or Super Saiyan God. Not Super Saiyan Blue. I've heard some people call Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Red. What? It's called Super Saiyan God. They don't even call it Super Saiyan Red in the show. The only person that does that is Caulifla, because she doesn't know what it's called, let alone what it is. She just said, oh, you're bringing out red now, huh? She didn't call it Super Saiyan Red. She doesn't even know that it's God Ki involved. She just like Kefla was like, you want to see me go blue right now? He's like, I'd like to see you try. Because she can't. Because she doesn't have access to God Ki like he does. She can't go God or blue. That's why he responded in that way. I'd like to see you try. Yet Frieza here is matching Super Saiyan levels of God power with a single transformation that brought his final form from base Goku up to Blue Goku. I get the blue because it's abbreviating, but you could have just called Super Saiyan God instead, and then called Super Saiyan Blue Super Saiyan God. And my mom reacted to the video I sent her and laugh emojis. It's a funny video. It's got to do with a crisis happening. That's what happens when you don't update a submarine after 30 years. Or, shit, get a new one. Because if a problem comes up while you're at the bottom of the sea, you're not going to be able to fix that until you surface. And if it's something keeping you from surfacing, then you're screwed until someone can find you. So that was just not smart of them to go into the sea with that old thing. They need a better submarine than that. But anyway, like, Dragon Ball Super, I've already shown that I have problems with. Like, I would have preferred them just bring back Cell instead of Frieza, because Cell doesn't really have a goal after destroying the planet, so much like the androids, he could be swayed to be neutral, rather than evil. Frieza, on the other hand, is pure evil and cannot be trusted. I think Cell versus Jiren would be a very interesting fight. Same with Cell versus Frost, although Cell would dominate Frost. Let's be honest. Assuming Frost doesn't have God Ki. Because apparently, I certainly hope this is false. Apparently he matches Frieza's final form, but doesn't match his golden form, which is already a plot hole, because where the f did he get that power so quickly? Like, he didn't do what Frieza did and just train. No, he was on the run, actually, because he was an outlaw. Yeah, I feel like a life on the run versus 6 months of training. 6 months of training is going to get you a lot higher than just running around, running from people, possibly brawling them to the death, and then running. I said possibly. Not only that, they're probably weaker than you anyway, because they're like a police force or some shit. And you're in your final form with poison needles. Like, that's not training. Like, Goku running around the Earth in early Dragon Ball is training because it's actually taking a lot out of him to do so. Until his swim to the World Martial Arts Tournament, which was just him following Roshi's direction of don't use anyone to go anywhere. Like, that's that whole scene of him approaching the Navy ship and then thinking it's this monster approaching, and he's just like a kid asking for directions. The comedy in OG Dragon Ball was hilarious. Some of it was a bit uncalled for, but to be fair, that stuff's returning in Dragon Ball Superhero, but instead of it being Roshi, it's the fucking audience. Or Bulma, rather. Whichever you want to call it. But regardless, Goku has dementia now. Frieza has God powers without needing God Ki, and just more bullshit. See, the Zamasu arc made sense because that guy was born with God Ki. He knows how to access it. Okay, that's how he got Super Saiyan Rose. Straight off the bat, because God Ki. In the manga, he had Super Saiyan as well, so we clearly saw that Rose was the god equivalent of Super Saiyan. I have more problems with Resurrection F than I do with the Zamasu arc. Zamasu arc kind of makes sense, minus the fact that while your body is invincible, that doesn't make you powerful either. Like, if you're even with Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, that does not make you Super Saiyan Blue level, which we clearly saw Goku body his ass when he got angry. All Zamasu did was distract him, and then Goku Black put a Keyblade through both of them. Like, Zamasu was fucking sadistic. Probably more than Frieza, I have to say. Because he enjoyed all mortal suffering and then expiring, rather than just making them suffer under his command while still feeding them and shit. Like, Frieza does nicer things than Zamasu, but that doesn't mean Frieza's a good person. Frieza's a horrible person. Like, you see how Frost is treated in his universe. He's treated like a fucking criminal. The only reason why Frieza's not is because he's got his own force behind him that he didn't trick into loyalty. They were all loyal to him from the start. And they knew the risks of signing up with Frieza because they witnessed their own men being killed by Frieza himself. But anyway, I'm done ranting, and I'm ending this video because I just wanted to point out how ridiculous cis white men are, and then I went on a tangent about Dragon Ball Super, so I'm sorry. Oh my god. Mama's grooming Alex, and Alex is just biting Mama, which honestly isn't bothering her because she's still got her winter coat shedding. I mean, it's bothering her, but it's not like hurting her. Alex seriously needs to learn restraint, though. Daisy also needs to learn restraint, but she knows a little more restraint than Alex because she's not a kitten anymore. She's still very sweet, though. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I'm starting to sound like Zamasu, how long my rants are getting. Oh, also, I have one last thing to show you guys. I'm kind of 50-50 about this. Well, I'm making a Minecraft resource pack, and it looks cool so far. I'm not going to show you guys. I mean, I'm probably okay to be paranoid right now because I'm a small channel and I'm easy pickings for higher channels or something like that. It's just my brain's anxiety. But I'm working on a little game here of mine. It's gonna be an MMO. If it's not an MMO, then it's gonna be a really complex solo game. But feel free to pause to read. I'm not gonna read all this to you guys because it would take a very long time. But I'll count to 5 and then I'll switch to the next row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason I'm counting is to give you guys a head start on when I'm going to start scrolling. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, I am not done with elements yet. I don't even think I'm done with class or races yet. I might not be done with classes, but I feel like 13 is enough for me. And I think this is good enough stats as well. It's going to go like MMO style, where these get increased with each level based on your class and race, of course. Then we've got backgrounds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course this was heavily inspired by Final Fantasy. More specifically 11. because I played that for a very long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I also haven't finished the Undead. I apologize for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to add more descriptions for the types of beings, of course, because I still need to add a description, what they do, what their elements are. You can kind of see that here. This is just more vague, I guess. Then we have all the Elder Demons, which I've got Abaddon to Medusa, Dawn, Barbados to Shinigami need to be done as well. Then we have the Primordials, which will consist of gods, or no. Primordials will be the... Oh no, yeah, Primordials will have gods under the category. Omnipotent will be their own category, because they are their own race in my universe, as you probably read above. And they are pretty much the most overpowered thing in existence. I mean, if something gets stronger, they grow stronger with it. Not that they would need that power per se, but that's a thing anyway. It's also to prevent any death battles from happening with them, because if you bring someone in front of the Omnipotent to fight them, I mean, their power is already going to be added because you entered their reality anyway. So, the Omnipotent are pretty overpowered. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be unkillable. Matter of fact, there was only one demon that even came close to rivaling one of the one of the youngest Omnipotent, which they grow more powerful the more they grow, but they scale based on the ones in the universe. So the reason why he almost was equal to them was because he was stronger than literally everyone else in the universe, besides the Omnipotent. And so he made up the majority of the power within them, and just almost rivaled one of the youngest ones, which the newborn Omnipotent scale to everyone within that reality. The older they get, the bigger the multiplier gets, starting with infinity, of course. But if we're not talking infinities, because infinity could also mean very large number, the multiplier starts at 100, and per second they're alive multiplies by 100 more per second, or millisecond, actually. Time to them is kind of irrelevant because they live eternally, but they can still reproduce. Matter of fact, they can reproduce with our races because we're just a side effect of them existing. It doesn't necessarily mean we're descendants of them. That just means that we exist because of them. It's just like saying that if we were to screw another human being that is completely unrelated to us, besides or one of our ancestors being connected, like we wouldn't be allowed to do that. It's pretty much just be the same. Like no human would ever be able to procreate with another human because they were related at one ancestor way back, like millions of years ago. Like the Omnipotent pretty much fall under that rule of like they can still mate with the races because it's been like an unknown amount of time. I say unknown because I have yet to even discover a number to chart the amount of time that the oldest one has been alive. So, yeah. And the highest number that I know in my head right now is a Google, not spelled like the browser, but it's a pretty big number. It's way higher than any of Goku's power levels that I have currently in the Dragon Ball Super Power Scale. That's not counting manga or Dragon Ball Super Heroes, which Time Patroller Goku is a whole other ballpark of power. Like, jeez. And then, of course, Capsule Corp Goku becomes, which is our Goku, just becomes basically higher than the omnipotent of Dragon Ball, for fuck's sake. Like, it gets insane in Dragon Ball Superheroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fun fact about my equipment: each weapon will have its own moveset, regardless of whether it's straight, curved, or thrusting. It will have its own moveset. Single-edged and double-edged will have different movesets, meaning their straight, curved, thrusting will have different movesets as well. No two weapons will share the same moveset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is all I have written down. I pretty much just come up with ideas, and then, dude, agility and accuracy. Oh my god, that was like, it took my mom's knowledge of like simple proportioning for me to be like, oh yeah, that exists. I can proportion them. So only like before I had it to where accuracy and power were separate, defense and agility were separate. Basically, toughness didn't include agility, it was speed that included agility, and then accuracy was its own stat, which that ended up not even working because if your attack and defense were high enough, you wouldn't even need accuracy or agility, which we all know is terrible. So now the formula accuracy and agility will always be the discerning factor between each other, whether or not you land the debuff or the attack or whatever you're throwing at the enemy. There's always that 1% you can miss. I don't, like, if I can make it 100% without crashing the game, then I will make it to where things can go to 100% accuracy over 0. So, yeah. Attack and defense. I already had attack and defense figured out. I mean, it was pretty simple. It's just very simple subtraction. Very simple subtraction. I mean, I already have an example of 200 minus 140, 60. 60 damage went through your defense, so 100 minus 60 leaves you with 40 HP remaining. So instead of being one shot, because your HP is okay. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Well, it just says the formula. Okay. Oh yeah, you've got 100 health because it's 100 minus 60. Duh. I don't know why I was scanning all of the other wrong areas to check. But yeah, basically the 100 minus 60 is your health minus the remaining attack. The 140 is your defense. 200 is their attack. Basically, you would have been one shot doubly over if this defense system wasn't in place. I'm sure I could do it percentage based, but I will have damage taken minus in my game as well, because what game doesn't? That is massively multiplayer. Sorry, I keep saying multiplier because math. But yeah, at some point I will be uploading Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 again. When that is, I don't know, because half of me wants to level up my character, well, add character to 99. The other half of me wants to just absolutely do everything on every race that I could possibly be to 100% it, which I haven't even done on my PlayStation. And parts of me just wants to record the entire thing and post it on YouTube. I feel like that would get me more views. However, speaking of views, you guys have been absolutely destroying it. like absolutely destroying it with Dragon Ball Fighters. I mean, just 642 views in the past 28 days. 43 watch time in hours. I mean, guys, you want to see my most popular video? Views. Here we go. 176. Wow. I think this comment is mine. Yeah, this is mine. Video is 360p because of file size. You can thank my PS4 for the low quality. I said the order of events. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this was basically this. I think this only got 176 views because of all the tags I was able to put in it, thanks to PlayStation. It's kind of a double-edged sword that way. You can get more views, but the quality will be absolute dog. But yeah, my most popular live stream is, of course, another Dragon Ball FighterZ one with 151. Looks like someone either disliked or unliked. I think unliked, because... Oh, no, one dislike. Interesting. May 28th. Okay, no, that was this year. That was way after I unfriended Kermit, so he couldn't... I don't know who's going to... It's probably what's-his-face, that 9-year-old that decided to be an asshole. It's probably that kid. Going around disliking my most popular stuff. I don't care. It's one dislike, crying out loud. My maximum is like 4 or something. 3. Okay, yeah. Thought I saw it 4 up there, but no. Kind of curious on my likes vs dislikes ratio, which I can't even check. Damn. But yeah, I mean, 151 on there, 176 on there. I mean, you guys have been destroying it. 1 dislike. Honestly, I don't care if you guys dislike this. It's surprisingly only 3 years old. It is awful. I honestly want to delete this. So yeah. Honestly, I might just do that. But I want to make my music playlist a little bigger before I do that. Okay, you guys are disliking stuff from 2016. I mean, I barely had it set up. So, I mean, whatever. 2 dislikes, 1 dislike. Yet this can have 2 likes. What? You guys gotta understand. I was using Bandai Cam, which I could only record for 10 minutes at a time, and sometimes it would cut the video short. So I couldn't record for the full 10 minutes. I had to like section them. So yeah. Dog awful. Yes, I'm cutting myself off before I get swear because I don't have an editing software. I haven't made any posts. I mean, honestly, I don't really care about any of the people that are just being dicks to be dicks. 277 battle music. Elden Ring has got 73 on its own. I'm sure Bloodborne has probably the same, if not more. I said if not more. Because I've played a lot of Bloodborne. And I've played a lot of Elden Ring. I don't even think I have all my Elden Ring videos in that playlist. Because some of them are streams as well. Well, most of them are streams, but you know what I mean. I kind of like how this is 5.5, but then again, my mic is awful, and I don't really expect people to sit through, well, an hour, I think? 2 hours, maybe? I don't remember. But yeah, I don't expect people to sit through my videos for that long, because you're sitting through awful mic, no editing, versus something you could be watching that is has editing and has a high quality mic and a high quality webcam. I mean, I need to get a better mic, and I need to get better. I just need to get editing software. Period. 4 views yesterday. Interesting. What happened yesterday? Yeah, this was in the last month. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing really good for my old average, which my old average was... well, yeah. Oh, shit. I gotta... No, that is lifetime. Okay, it just starts at 2016. I can't even target to see how many likes it is. It's less than 4, or not likes, subscribers. It's less than 4. 56 videos published. Like June 23rd, between that and then 19 videos published. So I mean, I'm doing pretty well actually, especially lately. I mean, seriously. The most I'm going to be getting though is yeah, the most I'm going to be getting is out of views and impressions, of course. Yeah, I don't know why it cuts off stuff before there, but whatever. Yeah, as you can see, my average is 2 viewers per stream. I've had a peak of 5 viewers per stream. I mean, you guys can leave now. You don't have to sit through this. Man, this cat is tearing me up. I'm hyped about Lies of P. I'm hyped about Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm hyped about so many things. I'm hyped about Elden Ring DLC. I'm gonna get Minecraft back sometime this week, so I'll be back to doing that. But it'll be, you know, a proper playthrough and not me just swearing the whole time. If I really want to show Hermitcraft that I'm dedicated to joining them, because like right now I'm just throwing myself out there, and like anyone who bites I'll join. Even if I join like the Three Idiots, Life Arrow, and Hermitcraft, like that, I'll be set. I'll be set. I mean, even if I can join Markiplier, that'd be great. Because I think he only does stuff like once a week. I don't remember though. Although, I mean, until I get an editing software, I don't think many people are going to want to sit through, well, hours of content. I think this was my previous stream 5 days ago, or pretty much 6 days ago. 33 seconds. I think that was just me. No, that's congruent viewers. No, that was me because I was checking audio. But yeah, I mean, I've never gotten 100 views in my life except for my channel in monthly chunks. Like, having a video with this many views within a month is insane. Because these videos are like years old, except for this one. Wow, 56 views on that one. Not bad. But this one's really old. It's 2 years old. This one's 2 years old. No, it's like, yeah, this is 2 years old. This is 4 years old. But it doesn't count as 4 years old because it's not August yet. It's 3 years old, I guess. This one's brand new. This one's brand new. So yeah, I guess I just need to do more Fighters content because that's what's really blooming right now. Elder Scrolls is doing decent. I'm glad to see my more recent content is getting more views than my really old content. Seriously though, like 5 years. It's been more than 5 years ago. It's 2023 now. It's been like 6 years. Shit, it's been 6 years. Man. Also, Tempest Island was cut off at the beginning, so you guys didn't get to see the beginning of that, unfortunately. But whatever. I mean, it's PlayStation. It cuts off whatever it decides to cut off. I can't stop it from doing that. Oh, and that was the Tempest Island as well. That wasn't even me grinding the 2 dungeons. That was just me soloing Tempest Island. So I mean, that proves the more the more tags you have, the more views it's gonna get. Because I put hella tags on this. I don't remember if I put hella tags on this or not. I think I did though. Like that jump though, like wow. Both are about the same length. One is a year old though, almost. So I guess not a year old yet. And it has like not even half the views of something that came out in May. Which is like last month. It's almost a month old, and it has way more views than something that's almost a year old. Wow. Like I said, you guys have been destroying it. I mean, this is more subscribers than I've seen ever. I remember when I had 20 subscribers for the longest time. Now I've tripled it just this year. Like, thank you guys so much. If I can keep this going, I'm going to take off, but I need a better mic at least. I don't want you guys to sit through this stuff and then it's just like awful, just pure, just ugh. I can't listen to me talk like this for this long with this mic. I mean, it could just because I'm hearing myself, but it could also just because the mic quality is just terrible. But anyway, that's enough on progress. That's enough on ranting about white men. That's enough on ranting about Dragon Ball Super. That's enough of this video. So if you stuck around to the end, well, wow. You are probably the most loyal viewer I'm ever going to get. Or viewers, if there are more than one of you. Which I'm sure there will be in the future. If anyone adores me like Markiplier. Which I doubt, but you never know what the future holds. I'm also not going to be like a super toxic person either, so that's why I say like Markiplier and not just like, well, I don't know, someone toxic like PewDiePie. Because PewDiePie may have a lot of subscribers, but he fell off a lot, especially when he said the N-word on camera. Like, he just, wow. That really blew my brother and I away, and we just stopped watching PewDiePie after that. Because only a racist would say the N-word, if they're white. I guess only a racist would say the N-word unless they're culturally allowed to. But white people, yeah, no, we're not on that list. So if we say the N-word, that's a definite red flag. That would be like the worst red flag ever, actually. Besides, I'm gonna go murder some black people from the fucking KKK. That's a fucking white flag right there. I say white flag because, you know, they wore white, so. Yeah, I'm just gonna spend the next 2 minutes on this screen so I don't. Again, it's just practice for when I'm actually monetized and being paid for this, but yeah, I've also been feeling pretty down on my health lately, hence the pausing and stuttering and whatnot. So I'm in a really tough spot right now. Mentally, financially, and I wish I could do more for my mother. I wish I could do more for myself. I wish I could do more, but something, I don't know what, but something is keeping me from doing what I want to do. And it's gotta be mental because, I mean, it could be physical as well, but 14 years of just getting crippled by my own father, and then having my brother just stab me in the back like he did, it's a really heavy toll. I just, I'm not being very healthy by telling anyone like I don't have to sit there and fight people on anything, because that's always my first instinct with random trolls online, is just to fight them, because I couldn't fight my father when he was busy beating my brother or beating me over the smallest of things. I just, I know that me talking about this probably sounds like a guilt trip, but I need to get this off my chest. I cannot just not talk about this to someone. Like, I need to find a therapist that actually works for me. I just, I need to get my life together. I may call other people lifeless, but deep down I feel like I have no life as well, because I don't. As much as I want a life, I don't have a life. But at least I'm not like these lifeless people out here just getting ego boosts online, just like, oh, huh, oh, look at this unknowledged freak. Let me dislike their stuff and scold them on how bad they are at being a person. Like, come on, man. You surely have better things to do. I fight because I grew up on shows like Thundercats, Dragon Ball. I've grown up on games like Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. I've grown up on, I said Dragon Ball Thundercats already, right? I've grown up on He-Man. I've grown up on just so many shows that tell you to not give up no matter the cost. And I don't, but it's really hard to even get back up. Like, there's the occasion where I can get back up and I'm able to do something very productive, but then the next day I'm just back in the shitter. I have to wait another minute, but I just, I wish I could do more. I feel so powerless in society. Like right now, the only reason I'm doing YouTube is just to be somewhat social. It's not even for the money right now, because I'm not even being paid for this right now. I don't even have the stuff set up to be paid by this. So basically, I have to get my life together. And like, I'm having a lot of fun projecting my ideas onto the sticky notes here, but the more and more I write, the more I know it's going to be daunting to create it. But I know it's going to be a masterpiece. I mean, I've got stats down already. The hardest part though is going to be making models, texturing them, and if I don't want to make them look like Minecraft anyway. I mean, I could start off that way and then like slowly update the game to have better graphics, or should I say models rather. You also have to figure out how I'm going to make the game look, as much as I want to make it look realistic or like a classic RPG where you can still tell that it's fantasy, but it's, you know, got realistic shading or whatever. Much like the old Final Fantasies, or maybe just barely any shading at all, like with the really old Final Fantasies. I mean, sure they were pixels, but they still had some shading with like robes and whatnot, shadows, which is pretty much what Final Fantasy 11 has. Minimal shading, basically just a black circle following you, or a black silhouette of you flipped to be stuck to the ground, following you. Like, that's easier than getting a shader done. And honestly, it looks pretty good for just being a texture following you. Not a texture, but something. I don't know what exactly they do, but I basically just, I defend what knowledge I do know, and what knowledge I don't know, I try to guess at. But I don't try to sit there and say the ones that I guessed at are taboo, because I will change them. Much like that comment, I was willing to make that last statement there about, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just guessing at this. If you think I know what I'm talking about, then you're wrong, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But here are these cis white men just coming in here and getting their ego boost, either off each other or off themselves. I still find it funny how one of them liked my comment. Somebody liked my comment of, I'm just talking about the even fights. It's not that long, but I was just talking about the even fights. Like, I already know, like, her Bloodborne original stats just gets absolutely annihilated, but it's also because Malenia is built to fight a stronger player character, so they scaled Maria to do the same thing, and that's what we got. And if you're not happy with it, then that's your problem. Don't make that my problem too. Which is why I mute people like them. And by mute, I mean, like, there's a feature on YouTube, if you go to your notifications, I think on mobile, you can mute them. I don't know how to do it on PC unless you just go to notifications as well. You can pretty much mute them, and then you'll keep them from sending a notification to you. Hi, Alex. Aw. Snuggles. You're still kind of cute. Don't really want my vein to be exposed like that, because his claws do hurt. Yeah, when he bites, he nibbles. When he bites down hard, when he's chewing on something with his back teeth. He's so sweet. He doesn't hate any of the cats that we owned before him. He literally hangs out with all of them. Except for Daisy, because she doesn't let him. But she's going through a crisis of her own right now. Which we've just gotta show her we still love her. Even though Alex is here. It doesn't mean we'll forget about Daisy. Yeah, Alex is missing an eye. My mom picked him up off the streets because she didn't want him to die. It's just a little one. So cute. Yeah, someday we're gonna have to get that eye closed up because it's leaking. He's getting healthier and healthier every day. His fur's getting healthier, his body's getting healthier. It's just so nice to be able to save someone, even if they're not even human. This world is filled with so much toxicity. So many people overlook the pure because they don't even care. Some do care. They still do nothing about it because they can't do anything about it. I'm one of those people. I wouldn't have been able to save this orange cat from being killed out there because they have a blind side and a leaking eye that could get infected. It was my mom who saved him. I don't even have my driver's license yet. I'm 20 years old. I've got to get my bearings first before I do anything. So if I just go out there and try, I'm just gonna be met with failure. But then that's the mindset that got me into failure in the first place. It's credit recovery. That's the reason I lost that 1 point that I needed to graduate with. It's because I gave up. And then just COVID striking, brain being overloaded every single day before that, having to quit from the soccer team because I have a breathing problem. Don't know what it is. Basically, I had to stop doing what I loved just so I wouldn't pass out. As much as I loved soccer, I couldn't, I wasn't benefiting the team by being out there anymore. I was just dead weight, almost. Except for those minor bursts when the ball got close, and I just kick it away towards either a teammate or the enemy side of the field so they can't get closer. Damn, this body sucks. It's a source of my problems. Starting with the breathing problems, then the sensory issues. Not to mention I don't even have proper coping mechanisms. I'm not get offended very easily. Letting people like this get on my nerves. Given I'm not angry at them, I'm just disappointed at them. So at this point I've grown to just laugh at these people, I guess. Not necessarily a laugh, but scoff at them. It's like you're 30 years old and you're doing this on the internet. Are you serious? What are you, a toddler? Alright, put the claws away, kid. I already have enough wounds from you. But yeah, I'm gonna end this here. Hopefully this isn't a 10-minute video.